What's going on, rock stars? I got a special guest in the building. My guy Matt. Met him off IG. Love his content. SEO guru. So definitely got a treat for you guys today. I done had credit people. I've had finance coaches. I have tons of people, but I've never had an SEO specialist. For those who know what that is, that's search engine optimization. He's about to give you the sauce on it. Matt, what's going on, babe? How you doing?
Not too bad. I don't like calling myself a guru in anything. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I do SEO.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Cool. So tell us your background, man. What kind of got you started in SEO?
Well, actually, so to make a long story short, I went to school for advertising and marketing communications management, which is a long ass title. Um, and in that program, one of the courses that we had was an SEO course. And the whole part of the program was to kind of get like dip your feet into all these different areas of, marketing. And I really did fall in love with like SEO at that time and like killed it in the class. Like I ended up working for that teacher, had like a summer internship because he had another company, like this whole thing. And then from there, I always had an SEO client on the side. Even when I was working like another job or doing something else, I always had like an SEO client on the side, and I just love it. That's how I got my start. I don't know. Does that make sense? Is that enough?
Yeah. You just pretty much found something you were interested in and you tapped into it on a whole new level, man. So tell the people. So what in essence is SEO search engine optimization, man?
Okay, well, in short, there's a lot to it, but in short, it's basically getting your website to show up higher on Google, right? So you do a lot of things. You do stuff on your website. So there's different tags that you can use. You have to write good content. You have to get links from other websites that are credible in your industry. There's so much to it, but in short, it's just like showing up higher on Google. And to do that, you just need good content.
Got you. And it's something that's somebody can possibly do themselves. How much of a like internet expert do you kind of need to be to get ranked on Google?
Man, like you don't need to really be like crazy at SEO. You just need to write good content. Like anybody can do it themselves. If you can write, you can do it yourself. I actually like I posted a ton of videos on social, and they're all like, here's how to do SEO yourself because I can't help everybody. Like I can't,
Right.
people can't, like, not everybody can't hire me to help them with their SEO, but I can help you by giving you free tips. And my ultimate goal as a business owner, as a marketer, is to help as many businesses as I can and help as many people as I can, grow and live like a better life, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So let's just go an example. Let's say I'm a fitness coach. Just started getting
Yep.
everything going, website, LLC, all that good stuff. If I want to rank and beat out people in my area, in my my immediate local area, what are some things I
Yeah.
can do to do that as fast as possible?
As fast as possible. So a
As fast as
couple of things,
possible.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of things that you can do is you can go to all your competitors' websites. So you're gonna need spreadsheets. If you don't use spreadsheets, you're gonna have to like them. You're gonna have to fall in love with a spreadsheet. Um, so basically, you're gonna want to take all your competitors, take like your local competitors that are ranking or not ranking because you don't necessarily know, right? Put all their websites in a spreadsheet, and then you're going to go to each website and you're going to look at what they're doing. So, how do I like? It's very hard to explain succinctly on a podcast what the first step is. You know what I mean? So let me try this. So, you need to get all your competitors listed. So and go to their sites, see what they're doing, see what kind of content they're posting. Are they posting blog posts? Do they have a lot of pictures? Do they have a lot of words on their pages? You can test how fast their websites are. If you can have a faster website, that'll help you like inch, your way up a little bit. Um, but the most important thing is taking a look at your own website. So you want to do like a quick audit of your website, which like I have all these resources available. Like I can send you a link if anybody wants them. Like the first step is auditing your website. And then you're going to audit your competitors' websites to see what they're doing. So once you complete the audit, you can see like, are you using the keyword that you're even trying to rank for? Are you using that on your website on a specific page? If you're not, then you need to you need to put it in there if you want to rank, right? If you want to show up. Um, and then yeah, after that, it's just basically optimizing your content. And what I mean optimizing, you change, the text on your website, you add in the keywords, you do all that kind of stuff. And then you give it a month, you give it 2 months, you see how it starts ranking. And to do this, we use a tool called Google Search Console. It's Google's free tool. It lets you basically not see into the algorithm, but like see how you're doing in the rankings. And then so you leave that for a couple months. You have to leave it for, at least a month, at least two, at least a month or two, so that Google has time to start indexing things. Because if you could rank on Google, in a day, then spammers would be all over the place, right? So Google does this purposely so that you're not, you have to put in the work. You have to have good content. You just can't spam the search results. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, no, no. It makes sense.
I,
It makes sense. So for the
I guess
people
like,
listening,
yeah,
my man's is pretty much telling you that it's not going to be an overnight process. That's the one of the key takeaways. So you have to do your homework, do your research, look at your competitors, and then as you kind of probably take pieces of what they're doing, add it to your own, you'll rank longer over time. That's Did I get that right?
yeah, basically. I think you said it a lot better than I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I said quickest because I knew the answer. I knew it's not going to be quick. But
Yeah,
to the people
yeah,
listening that may want fast results, listen, with SEO, it is a time sensitive thing. I'm not an SEO expert either. We just got
yeah.
our website to rank, and it took a long process. So that's how I know it's very, very valuable to understand SEO because this organic, traffic, man, you really can't beat that.
It's insane. Yeah. Like I've seen clients make a lot of money from organic search and like not have to spend money on ads anymore. Like it's just insane how effective it can be if you give it time.
Right, right, got you. So let's talk a little bit. Let's dissect a little bit more. You talked about keywords. So are there different types of keywords that people can try to rank for?
Yeah. I mean, like if you're referring to short tail versus long tail keywords, those are two different categories of keywords. So a short tail
Okay,
keyword, let's say that's 1 to 2 words. So fitness coach, for example, that's a short tail keyword. A long tail keyword could be fitness coach in North Carolina, right? That's a longer tail keyword. Or fitness coach for somebody with, I don't know, like some kind of problem with lower back problems. Fitness coach for somebody, for people with knee problems, right? Or fitness coach for somebody who wants to get in shape in 30 days. I don't know, like there's a whole bunch of different ways you go about it, but like that's a longer tail keyword, meaning it's a lot more specific to what somebody's looking up. The more specific you can be, the more likely you're going to be to convert somebody,
mm,
right? Like, have you ever like, maybe it's just me, but I used to have like a 2000 Dodge Neon, and I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, this car's making this weird sound. What do you think it could be? He's like, I think it's like the valve cover gasket, and he's not like a mechanic or anything, but I'm like, okay. So I go on YouTube, and YouTube is part of SEO as well because they're owned by Google. They're a huge search engine. And so I go on YouTube and I'm like, valve cover gasket replacement for 2000 Neon, and then like type in like whatever the code is of the car. And for some reason, some guy made a video showing you how to like take the top of the engine off and replace the gasket. And he had a link to like buy the $12 part from Amazon and like how to do the whole thing. I did it all myself because this video was tagged so specifically for what I was trying to do and what I was looking up that I found that result and it was so helpful, like immediately.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's very, very underrated. Where people need, I think people want to go for the big words, like for example, like insurance agents. That's kind of for that industry. I know for sure it's tough to kind of rank because you got a lot of bigger companies that have 1,000 different credible links pointing to them, so it's kind of hard for them to rank. So people like that, like in those industries, should definitely probably go for the longer tail
Yeah.
keywords.
Well, then that's the thing too. You have to consider what the customer journey looks like. It's not just like
Hmm.
I go on Google, I'm looking for an insurance salesman or I'm looking for insurance. It's like I'm looking for insurance in this area. Maybe it's fire insurance, maybe it's theft insurance, maybe it's home insurance, like whatever it is. And you can get really specific because people are looking up a ton of variations of that, insurance key, that main insurance keyword, right? And it's a lot easier to rank for those smaller ones that maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 people are looking up a month, but like if you're the number one result and 20 or 30 people are coming to your website every single month, and then you just keep adding pages to your website and you're doing that, eventually you're going to get like two, three, four, 10,000 page views and visitors to your website, right? It adds up over time. So although it is like, what am I trying to say? It's tempting to go after the big keywords. It's going to take a lot longer and you probably won't rank for them because everybody wants to go for the big keywords. But let's go for like the smaller, lower hanging fruit keywords, right?
Got you. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about mindset of kind of entrepreneurship. What are some things? What are some real low moments that you had compared to the highlights? Let's talk about those.
Ooh, low moments. Um, I'm just trying to think. Low moments is me having like so much anxiety and having like an anxiety attack that I'm literally, and this is like maybe not even a year ago, me laying in my kitchen on the floor. My heart's going like 130 beats a minute because I'm just like so anxious. I don't know what's going on. And like, that's the low parts. And like, my partner's trying to be like, you're fine. You're not having a heart attack. There's nothing wrong with you. And it's like just laying on the floor in my kitchen. So that's like as low as like health wise. Does that make sense? As low health wise as it
Yeah,
got
yeah,
for
yeah.
me. Um, but like, oh, as an entrepreneur, just like the lows before like my agency really kicked off, um, I was like $12,000 in debt. I had no idea where my rent was coming from, but it always came. That was like the thing that I
Mm.
knew. I was like, I'm on the right track.
Speak, man,
Like I
man,
get
man.
like a
Speak on that
client.
again. You said what? You need to repeat that part again for the people. Say that again, man. You said the rent. You said you was in debt, but the rent still came. You didn't know how it was. You know how it came, but
Yeah.
it got there.
Well, like I it did I know how it got there in terms of it was coming from a client, but I didn't know that I was going to get that client in the next month. So it was a
Right.
lot of like, man, I know it's like something's going to happen where I'm going to get the money somehow. I'm not going to do something illegal. I'm not going to like sell my shit or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like I
yeah.
know like the money's going to come to me somehow. And it would always be like a friend of a friend of a friend being like, "Hey, I need a website. Hey, I need Google Ads. Hey, I need Facebook ads or like I need SEO." And like I'm like I like to say that I'm really good at SEO, but I had to learn how to do all these other things because I was like, I need to pay the fucking bills. I don't know if we can swear on this, but I need to pay the fucking bills,
Yeah, gotta
right?
pay the fucking
And
bills, man. For
yeah,
sure.
and the money always came in, but like the greatest thing about that is like I learned all these other skill sets, right? So it wasn't just SEO. Like you talk to a lot of people who are an SEO expert, or that do SEO for a living, and they don't know necessarily how to tie in, the Facebook pixel on your site and do remarketing to people who are visiting your site from, you know, Google, and then also how to get those people onto an email list, and then how to make the email list funnel. Like it's those are all separate jobs. And I'm not saying I'm the best at all of those. But if you know how to tie everything together, you can then bring in an expert like a copywriter to write your emails, right? Or you can work with the client to do that. You can work with a Facebook ads expert, which like we have like I don't run Facebook ads myself anymore. I have people on my team who do that who are like way, way fucking better than me.
Right, right.
But like you need to have a bigger picture. I feel like I'm just digressing so hard right now, but I'll just finish with saying like you need to have like the whole picture to know what you should be doing. Sometimes people come to me like, I need SEO, and I'm like, no, you don't. What you really need is a new website design, or you need Facebook ads, or like whatever it is. Like your SEO is fine. Like I can't help you. I'm not going to take your money. I can't help you with that. So if you have a more holistic view of everything, I guess holistic is that the right word, of what somebody can do to market their business, then you can help more people.
Exactly. Wow, that's awesome, man. Sounds like you got your process down in, and you kind of know, and you're vast enough in your experience to know exactly what people need when you look at it. You're like the doctor in the Swiss Army knife, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a doctor, but if you're calling me a doctor, I'll say that. Say I'm a doctor. I'll
Yeah,
take that for
yeah. Well,
sure.
you
I mean,
solve problems, so
yeah. Well, it's like that's like one of the biggest things is diagnosing what the issue is, right? And then like I might not necessarily know how to go in and fix the issue, but I'm like, you have a big problem right here. Let's look into that, right? Here's some pills,
right,
right?
exactly, exactly. And so let's tap into it more. So let's say somebody wants to start their own agency. It doesn't even have to be SEO. This period. What are
Yep.
some mental traits they need to have to kind of get them over those low points. Because like you, I know you experienced some. I definitely remember experiencing some myself in the
Yeah.
beginning of my journey because it's a pain when you're first starting out and you're trying to make money and you're trying to not just accept any client because you know this gonna be it's gonna be more work in the long run. So trust me, I get those low lights. So what do you have to tell that person that wants to start, but you know they gotta have up here right first?
You you have to really love it and want to do it. Like what you were saying, where you don't want to take on, every client. I took on every fucking client that I could for years. I don't care like if they had, a little bit of money, like $200 to, $5,000, which like at the time 5 grand would have been great. But like I took on so many clients. I did so much work for free. Like I lost money on a lot of projects, but that allowed me to really expand my skill set, learn, make new connections, grow my portfolio, and then really show people like, here are the results that I can get for this person. They don't know that I'm doing that work for free or really cheap or losing money on that project. They just see like this website, they see the analytics, and like, this is really great. Can you do this for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do that. So I guess to answer your question, you just really have to love it, and you really have to like get in the weeds. You have to get in the dirt and like just like get dirty and yeah,
Yeah,
keep
I
going.
feel that. Yeah, I feel that. In the beginning, I had a thing. I said I had a very hard time getting clients, getting customers. So what I would do, just like you said, do it for free. I found 5 people, and I just look. I do your whole setup for free. You know,
Yeah,
and that allowed me to have some variation in my testimonials. I was able to put them on landing pages, on funnels, allowed me to get more
yeah.
work. So for the people that are listening in, and you're in a service-based business where you can offer something for free, if you're starting out, there's nothing wrong with it. It may seem frustrating in the beginning, but long term, you're gonna have a lot more, and you never know that free client will probably turn to a paid client because they like your work so much.
I did. So just on that note, I did a website. This was like the first SEO client I ever got on my own. I was still in school and I did a website for them for like $500. And as soon as they like signed the contract, there was not even a contract. They're just like, yeah, go for it. Um, and as soon as they're like, go for it, they gave me a check for $500. I'm like, this is like, I'm highway robbery. Like I'm stealing this basically because like I'm building a website for these guys. Like there's no physical, like nothing exists. And so I built the website for like $500. SEO'd the shit out of it. They were ranking number one. Their company grew like 4, 5, 600%. Like it was like within a year. It was insane. And like they're in a smaller market, so it's a lot easier to do that. And at the time, like I was like, I think this is what I do. I think this is how, I do it. Anyways, that client ended up coming back years later and we're like, we need a new website. We need like a secondary website. We need like all this other stuff. So I ended up making like thousands and thousands of dollars off of something that like, although I got that $500 and I thought at first it was, highway robbery, I actually probably did like, you know, 50, 60, 70 hours of work for that $500,
Right, right. Yeah,
right?
you turn them into a repeat customer based on the value you gave them. And that's
Yeah,
very, very important as entrepreneurs to understand that to get a client is only the first piece of it. You got to deliver something amazing so that you can
yeah,
keep that customer lifetime value high. Because that's, same with us.
100%.
That's how we get a lot of repeat businesses, just repeat customers coming back, getting stuff over and over again. So if you have that possibility as a business owner, you got to go for it. So always over
100%.
deliver on value. Back when I used to work in corporate, I used to tell my team same thing: under promise, over deliver.
Yeah,
So yeah, that'll put you in
exactly.
the business space, man. So tell us some more about the agency, man. I know you do SEO. Is there any other services that you offer?
There is, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have on the
You're
website that
hesitant
we
on,
do
on
like,
talking about it a little bit.
no, I'm not hesitant. I'm just like really trying to. I'm at a place right now where I'm like, do I specialize and do like SEO, website design, and social media ads? And I like that's really where my mind is at with things because like we're really good at doing those things. And like we can do like website conversion optimization. We could do Google ads. We can do, other things. Like we could do organic social, but I do not want to do organic social, right? So it's really, yeah, I'm really at a point right now where I'm trying to figure out, and this is like part of the entrepreneurial journey where you're like, okay, shit, like I can do all this stuff. Should I do all this stuff? Right? And I've gone through this like several times. Like I used to do organic social for people and I hated it because it's so much work. You can't measure the results and all that kind of stuff. But to answer your question, other services, website design, primarily in WordPress, because everything else, like if you're coding a website, if you're using like I don't want to mention any names of like other platforms that I don't like, but there's ones where you have to do a lot of coding or like they're very limited and you can't update anything. You can barely do any CSS and like you can't fix heading to tags. You can't, there's just, yeah. So website design, primarily WordPress. Um, yeah. So what the fuck am I talking about at this point? Website design, primarily WordPress, and then Facebook, Instagram, TikTok ads, any social media platform. That's like really, we can kill it with the ads. But we don't go out and shoot the ads. Like we don't actually make the content. We'll take the creative that you have and we can make, a new piece of content that services the ad.
Gotcha. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice combination, man. Got somebody ranking on Google. You doing the ads for them, man. Y'all crushing. I like it, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
so,
fun.
yeah, yeah, definitely. We used to run ads for a while back too, and what we realized is that what used to hang people up wasn't really the ad or like the buttons you press. It was the creative.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that was like pressing the buttons isn't that difficult to get it to work right, but the creative has to
Yeah.
be very, it has to be on point. And I think that, you know, when you talk to clients and talk to them about ads, that part gets lost in translation. They think, well, I could just push buttons and boom, boom, boom. Like, no, that creative needs to
Yeah.
be, it can't be subpar.
Yeah, and you need to have a good offer and you also need to be retargeting people. So like if you're having people organically come to your website through Google and you don't have the Facebook pixel on there or the meta pixel, whatever they're calling it today, you don't have that pixel on there, then you're not really capturing that person's information so you could retarget them later and maybe they're part of a bigger campaign, right? But you're right, it does come down to the creative and like if you're a new brand or a new business and you don't have video of your business, you don't have pictures of your people doing the work or your process or your not it's not service, your product. Well, I can't think today. If you don't have all that, go and get it. Take out your phone, like literally go start recording shit. The videos don't need to look amazing. Like some of the ads that have performed the best for my clients have just been ads that are like shot on a phone, not really edited. Like it just looks like it's somebody else in your feed. It's not coming from a business, not coming from a brand.
Right. Makes sense. And I've noticed that a lot too. Those regular, like it's now the goal is to not make them look like ads, make them look like it's a normal piece of content that's just great. And then that'll
Yeah,
get people, get eyes on our stuff, man. So I love it. I
100%.
love it. Gotcha. So final word. So do you have anything to give to the people? Like you have any freebies, anything you can, where can they sit down and talk with you in case they want some SEO related advice or they want to work with you?
Oh my God. Okay. So in terms of freebies, like I'm making like a new freebie every single day at this point. Basically getting people on my email list, which as you know, as an automation specialist, like you need to have people on your email list. That's like the number one, conversion place where you're going to make the most money. Um, so I have a ton of freebies. You can really find them on Instagram. I don't actually have a page where you can just sign up for freebies, which like now we're having this conversation. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. I need to have a button on my website that says free shit or freebies. You know what I mean? Downloads.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you know what? Like I'm actually, you're watching me right now, like writing this down.
Write it down. See,
Um,
taking notes.
yeah, like, and that's like part of again, just going back to being an entrepreneur, like you need to write your ideas down. If you have an idea, like, oh, like I need to actually go and do that. Like I'm probably going to do this later today, build that page, and then I can send people that page. Like, here's all the free shit that you can get. Sign up, give me your email, blah blah. Go into my automations. Um, so that's the free shit. That's the freebies. That's the free stuff. Um, if somebody wants to work with me, make sure you have a budget. Like, I don't want to give you a specific number because everybody's going to have a different, um, you know, requirement for what needs to be done on their website or what kind of marketing. Like, for example, like for us to run social ads is a lot cheaper than us doing SEO, and us building a website is a lot more expensive than us doing SEO. So it's like it really depends on what people are looking for. But to answer your question, if you want to contact me, you want to work with me, just send me an email, matt@heytony.ca. And that's it. Follow me on Instagram. I post every day there. I try to get back to all the DMs, but it's
Right,
getting a
right.
little bit challenging. So, yeah, send me an email.
Got you. All right, man. We You talked about how you got your start, man. How you found your how you found your skill set while learning in school. We talked about what it takes to really dial in and be great at SEO. We also talked about some of the struggles you had and your
Hmm.
low points and how kind of you got over them. You relayed that information to the people. So we definitely appreciate you being here, man. You got any final words to say to the people before we log off today?
To the people, I don't know. If you're a business owner, just keep. It gets better. Just keep going. That's it. You got this.
It gets better. It gets better. You got this. All right, rock stars. Listen, this is Rock, and we'll see you next one, man. Sign off. Peace.
Cheers. Bye.
All right, man. See,